Hey, I'm Ruby Lopez for Creek Currents, and today we are here to discover a new way to get around town, and I think you'll find it electrifying. Let's go. Rambis here. He's the general manager of County Connection. And Rick, talk to us about this wonderful day and what makes these electric trolleys so unique.
These electric trolleys have been a long time coming in terms. It's taken us about 3 years or so from the time we've received the funding for them until you see them here on the street. And what makes them unique is a number of things. First is it's the first 29-foot trolley built with this application of with Gillig building the bus, which is a local East Bay manufacturer, good union jobs in Hayward, soon to move to Livermore, working with a company out of New York called BAE Systems for the power plant, the electronics, if you will, and then a third major partner called Wave, which built the inductive charging system that makes this project unique. This is the first of those three folks coming together with a public transit operator to put buses on the street in this country. Now they've got more projects right behind it, but we are the first to actually get our vehicles into service with this application. What makes the charging unique is it's inductive. The bus will charge overnight with a plug-in charger, as you normally see, and then when it leaves the bus yard in the morning, we will be able to extend the range of it by periodically inductively charging it at a BART station where the bus will roll over a plate in the roadbed. A receiver will come down from the bottom of the bus and just about meet the pad, but it won't quite touch it. And then through a wireless connection that's magnetic, the bus will charge for 5 to 10 minutes. That will allow the bus to extend its range and make a few more runs, and then it'll do another charge, top off at the BART station. Eventually it comes back to the yard. That feature allows us to extend the service we can provide with one vehicle, and it also promises to allow the bus to have a battery life that's longer. These buses are to last 12 years. Normally when a bus lasts 12 years, you're seeing batteries in an electric bus change out halfway through its life or even twice during the course of the life of a bus, which can be very expensive and time consuming. This technology promises to allow us to extend the life of the battery along with the bus so we never have to replace the batteries.
So talk to us about how the project and these beautiful trolleys were paid for.
It's paid for through two primary sources. The first and most significant is a federal grant called Clean Fuels, which came out of a transportation authorization bill from a few years ago. And those funds were given out competitively across the country to promote projects like this. So we were one of two transit systems in the country to get funded in the last cycle of those funds, the other being Monterey Transit. And they're specifically given to us because we're doing something brand new that's considered a prototype, something that's not been done before, which is bringing the various vendors together and inductively charging the bus. And from that source we receive $4.3 million, and then we are using $1.1 million for transportation Prop 1B funds for transit that the voters enacted many years ago as part of a series of transportation propositions. That allows us to improve this service. We've got a better bus, a more quieter bus, and one that's cleaner.
Now you talked a little bit about the charging. Can you talk to us about how it works in general and the emissions? It's pretty amazing.
Well, from an emissions perspective, to kind of put it in maybe simple terms, these buses are replacing 4 diesel buses, which will save us roughly 14,000 gallons of diesel fuel a year. So that's 14,000 gallons of diesel that will not be burned and will not be emitting stuff into the air that's bad for us to breathe. So that's the most immediate benefit in terms of emissions and so forth. The bigger, I think, story here is that these buses and the way they're built promises to be replicated across the country and make it easier and more practical for transit systems to operate electric buses versus diesel buses. So with this project we have brought in Gillig, BAE, and Wave in a way that if they can replicate this project across the country, bringing the prices down, getting the technology out there in many more communities, you now have magnified your benefits to the air quality across the country by quite a bit. So that's, I think, the beauty of this project, is we have done something that will lead to many more projects like this elsewhere, which will collectively clean up the air.
Well, I'm joined now by Councilmember Bob Simmons, and Bob, talk to us about the connection between the City of Walnut Creek and these electric trolleys.
Well, this is really a fantastic project for both the City of Walnut Creek and County Connection. And shortly after I joined the board, I asked, could we get an electric bus? And the initial answer was no. But then the technology evolved, and they looked at this Route 4, which Walnut Creek has supported transit in ways that no other city in this area has, by making this particular route free to the riders. And County Connection looked at this. It's a highly successful route. It's highly visible, and it just really fits the electric technology that they have available today. So that's how Walnut Creek became connected. The other thing I would add to that is our staff and County Connection staff work really well together. And when you're bringing in a new technology like this, you know that there are going to be problems. And County Connection, knowing that it had both a willing partner and an eager partner, knew that Walnut Creek was a place to bring the first electric bus in the Bay Area.
To be able to offer this for free, now how are you able to do that?
We make that decision every budget cycle. When we first started, the money came out of our general fund, and then for a while it came out of Measure J, which was a transportation measure that's countywide. And more recently, and ever since the recession, we've taken it from our downtown parking and enhancement fund, and it fits there because this is taking people and cars off the road and delivering them to destinations that they really want to have. The other thing that's really important is that we start to move away from the burning of fossil fuels, and this is an important first step to do that. Some of the fuel that is being burned to provide the electricity is still from the burning of fossil fuels, but PG&E has about a 30% portfolio of renewable energy. So this is a big step in that direction. I think the other thing that will happen, I mean, all the memory I have of transit is a dirty bus and a noisy bus. And I had the chance with you to ride this bus today. And from the standpoint of the bus operation, it was really quiet.
It was beautiful.
But it was really noisy because everybody was having a conversation. That was just really nice because you had people connecting with each other. So I think what's going to happen here is people are going to see this quiet new bus. People who are sitting in our downtown having a cup of coffee or just whatever are going to see the bus go by and going to be able to maintain their conversation. And I think people are going to get excited about transit again, and I certainly hope that's the case, because we need to get people out of their cars and into transit as a more efficient way of moving people around in the Bay Area.
Absolutely. It would definitely be more enticing. Well, thank you so much for chatting with us.
Glad to do it.
Fantastic resource to be able to offer this for everybody. Something for the environment and free for the riders.
And it's something the City of Walnut Creek is just really proud to support this and excited to have this in Walnut Creek.
Hi, that was amazing. This is so much of an addition to Walnut Creek. We're happy to have it.